The final day of the multinational Cobra Gold military exercises in Thailand has been marked by tragedy. A pilot died in the crash of his warplane, Cobra Gold. The largest military exercise in the Asia-Pacific region has been greatly reduced this year as Washington has reduced military aid to Bangkok. As Tony Cheng reports, the exercises illustrate the shifts in military alliances taking place in the Asia-Pacific region.
A group of Japanese refugees arrive at an evacuation station in the wake of a terrible natural disaster. They're given first aid, ID checked and security screened before being airlifted home. It's just a drill, but the focus of Cobra Gold, as this year's military exercises were downgraded from combat training to humanitarian aid. The reason? A political spat between Thailand and the US, although generals on both sides keen to show it was business as usual.
Brother, can you shake hands with me?
For the first time this year, Cobra Gold saw the full participation of a team from the People's Liberation Army. That's led some to surmise that Thailand is shifting its allegiances closer to the regional power. But the acting US ambassador believes closer cooperation, not competition, is the good news story from this year's exercise.
It's outstanding to see Thailand have good relationships with China and all of its neighbors. And on display here are the benefits of trilateral relationships and cooperation.
Tensions in the Asia-Pacific, however, have been rising over the past 12 months, and Japan's possible return to combat readiness was in evidence at Cobra Gold. Japanese civilians being processed through a mock evacuation center, part of Cobra Gold's humanitarian operations, which have been refocused away from the combat operations of the past. But the Japanese are here in larger numbers, and they're here in full force, perhaps a sign of their increasing military assertiveness. The other major shift this year is US forces' withdrawal from combat operations in Afghanistan and a refusal to be drawn into ground operations against the Islamic State in Syria and Iraq. Many analysts believe that could see more US forces based in the Asia-Pacific region, although that's unlikely to lead to a significant shift in power.
There will be a few decisions for countries in this part of the world over the next few years, but I think most of them will continue to be quite successful at balancing ties and not choosing either the US or China as their strategic partner, but choosing both.
And while Cobra Gold was focused on humanitarian operations, the Americans didn't miss an opportunity to highlight their latest hardware. Here, V-22 Ospreys deployed in their civilian airlift. It may not have been an awesome show of military might, but clearly the US remains a presence in Asia, not to be ignored.